And action. So introduce yourself. Tell us your name, age, occupation, and where you live.
Okay, I'm Mike Enders, and I am 38 years old. I live in San Francisco, California. I have been a massage therapist, licensed in San Francisco and Hawaii for about 10 years now, and also I'm in nursing school. This is my first interview, so give me some slack. Go ahead.
Okay, so how would you describe your personality? How would your friends and toughest critics describe you, and elaborate?
Well, I definitely have a bubbly personality. I'm definitely outgoing. I'm not shy. So what would be my toughest critics? I don't know. I'm very impatient. That might answer actually a few of the questions. I'm extremely impatient. I always feel like people are in my way. But I'm definitely very bubbly, lightgoing, easy to adapt to situations.
3 sentences long.
Okay. And and I can talk. I'm a really good talker.
Okay. So what was your upbringing like? Did you come from a lower, middle, or upper class family? And did your family have the means to travel or show you the world? So your upbringing, class, and traveling.
Okay, well that's my family's kind of a loaded question, but to answer it briefly, definitely lower class. Both, my family was split up when I was younger, stepmoms and stepdads, but we were definitely in a lower class bracket and never traveled outside of upstate New York. We'd go camping in Lake Ontario, but there was always something in me that wanted to go more and bigger. It's weird. I always had this idea of being in San Francisco even as like a 9-year-old.
And have you ever traveled outside of the U.S.? If so, to where? And if not, why? Elaborate.
Well, I have a passport. I've had 3 trips planned to Thailand, but financial situations, school situations have always come up. So the furthest I've traveled outside of the U.S. has been Canada. But to me that's the same thing. So no, I have a passport that's valid, but there's no stamps in it yet.
And you lived in Alaska and Hawaii.
Oh, I lived in Alaska and Hawaii, yes.
So outside the continental.
I just don't want to be one of those sad people that has like a bookshelf full of travel books, but never gone anywhere. But that's another story.
So what scares you most about traveling?
Well, I don't know. Seeing I've never traveled outside the U.S., the language barrier, I think. Like, I've had dreams before where I haven't been able to communicate with the people around me, and I just, the basics. I wouldn't be able to get the basics across, like, where do I go to the bathroom? How do I eat? Help!
What do you hope to learn during this adventure, and what will you bring to the table?
That's an interesting question. These are hard to put into 3 sentences. I don't know, I'd love to learn different techniques from around the world. It's fascinating to me to think that like a lot of these other countries have these traditions that they use in their medical practices, and they've never even made it to the U.S. Some of our cutting edge things that have come from India or the East are like cutting edge here, but they're tradition. And what can I bring to the table? I don't know, I have an extensive bodywork background in anatomy and physiology. And I'm spiritual, so I want to take my science background and bring it together. We have a little cat distraction down here. They're trying to steal my light.
What country or place would you most like to visit, and where would you hate to travel, and why? So most like to, hate, and why?
Well, I'm attracted to tropical places, islands. Warm places. So first would probably be I'd love to go to Thailand to finally make my Thailand trip complete. Ice places, I lived in Alaska and I wasn't happy there. I put on about 35 pounds. So I think I'd like to stick to tropics. Australia's on the top of my list. South Africa's on the top of my list. But Southeast Asia is number 1. But I'm open.
What's your view on Western medicine? When was the last time you went to the doctor? And about how often do you go to the doctor?
God, that's another loaded question. Because along with that, you have to figure out our whole insurance structure, and it sucks. I have like a local San Francisco insurance, and so I've had to take care of some medical problems in the last couple of years. I'm dealing with my stomach, and in order to come up here. So in order to See, you get some camera time. But in order to actually get an appointment, it takes me months. And last year I had an endoscopy, a colonoscopy, and I don't know, it was shady. It was thorough, and they gave me, I don't know, they forgot to call me back.
How's that influence your view on Western medicine?
I think it's turned into like a money-making system. It's like a monopoly. I don't know. It's not run by people who care anymore. It's run by people who want to make money, and the pharmaceutical countries or companies.
Do you believe that medical cures have to be proven scientifically? Why or why not? Explain.
Scientifically, absolutely not. I think if they just do a run of tests, and there's proof behind it, I definitely want proof and like structured tests. But scientifically, always not. I mean, I could bring up like a lot of these scientific studies are backed by like Christians and Catholics, which is a whole nother ballpark. But no, I don't believe they have to be scientifically proven.
Does alternative lifestyle or medicine play a part in your life? And if so, how and why? And to what degree while you're getting bit by the cats down below?
Well, it absolutely plays a huge part of my life. I've been a massage therapist for 10 years, and it's been a weird progression. I used to do a lot of yoga. I lived in this jungle on the Big Island, and there's like, I don't know, it's vegan, raw, hippie, dippy. I don't know, it was spiritual meditation. I learned how to do yoga. I did healing workshops, and from 10 years from that day, I've continued to practice meditation, yoga, massage therapy, compassion.
So, what's your opinion of alternative medicine? If you had a life-threatening illness, would you go to a medical doctor or try alternative remedies? Elaborate and why.
I would give alternative medicine's the absolutely first choice, but granted, if it's something that's acute or terminal, I would possibly definitely seek Western type care. But alternative medicine first, run through the whole scheme of things, and then last straw, I'd definitely seek a medical doctor.